Can you see the other side out on one of these windows?
Why?
I wondered if Nick came to promise Gene to go up the notice board thing next to the free library. You know, a little thing that you guys. Did he? I didn't look yet to see if you put it up.
I didn't need to get dropped around.
Okay. We're in the wrong building, right?
Yes.
To see us. Now that I think about it.
It was not there at noon.
I don't think he did because Gene said he didn't send me a message. I would assume he would.
I pull out that way, it's easier to see the road, the traffic coming.
Right.
I almost bought that. You can't see.
I was wondering why you do that.
You can't see down the road, there's too much vegetation.
I have 2 good ears, I listen, and then go.
All right, 6 o'clock, we call the meeting to order. Roll call, Ed Ingles, I'm here. Marcia Goldberg.
Here.
Stephen Berry.
Here.
Leah Gage.
Here.
Mark Loughran.
Here.
And Rich Sacker.
Here.
Third item on the agenda is appointment of alternates. We don't have any alternates, but we have Jim Lowry here.
All right, Jim.
Interested in joining the planning board, and according to the rules of procedure, just quickly, when a member position becomes vacant, which was last month with Gus's resignation, the chair shall announce the vacancy during a meeting, which we did last meeting. The vacancy shall not be filled until the next regularly scheduled meeting of the planning board following the announcement. So that would be now, today. If a vacancy exists, the remaining members of the board shall appoint a new member to serve until the next election, at which time the vacancy is put on the ballot. And there's more about them when it goes on the ballot. So my understanding of that is that we can appoint Jim, we vote on it, and I guess I would need a motion on that.
I make a motion, we accept it.
As a member, right?
As a
As a
member.
member, not an alternate, right?
Correct.
And that's for the, what was the term
It's
that,
the balance of the,
which
it's
is
to the next election.
1 year or 3 year?
No,
No,
it'll go to
1 year.
March. It goes to March, and then that vacancy goes on the ballot
Okay.
for the remainder of whatever term it was, which I think was a year. So it's
I
either
see.
going to go on for a year or 2 years in March,
Understood.
depending on what Gus's original term was.
I could run for re-election at that point.
You can, yep.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. I think you also, when you ran, I think you got 54 votes or something.
76, I think.
74, something like that, yeah. Anyway, any discussion? You want to hear from the candidate?
Make you a packet.
Do you want to hear from the candidate?
Sure, yeah.
Words of wisdom?
Not much. I moved to Brookfield, I think around 2016 or 17. Bought a house with my wife. She already had one, but we bought a different one. Years ago, I was on the Wolfboro Planning Board as an alternate. I don't know, it was 3 or 4 years, something like that. I have a background in surveying, civil engineering, associate's degree. I worked for Ed Bergeron up in Conway for quite a few years, and McLean Associates in Wolfboro. Realtor for 20 years in the Wolfboro area, mostly doing acreage, farms, but you know, small town, you have to do a little everything. About it in a nutshell, I guess.
Okay,
Good.
sounds good. Any other questions? All right, so we have a motion to elect Jim as a member of the planning board, or appoint Jim as a member of the planning board through the next election in March. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you.
Don't forget, if you miss 2 meetings, you're out. I'm just kidding.
What's that? What did you say?
If you miss 2 meetings, you're out.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
So before the next meeting, I'll get you a handbook
Okay.
and all the
Great.
fun stuff you get to read.
I know.
Yeah, the land use planning book, you really can't
Oh,
see it.
yeah. I'll read it every night as I go to sleep.
And do have one of those I can give you right after.
Leah, do you have anything for announcements before we cover the mail?
I don't think so.
So the only thing I think noteworthy in the mail was a complaint letter that we received, and the selectmen are going to deal with it, is my understanding. Is that right?
Well, there's two parts. We're going to deal with the second part, which alleges a new home-based business without proper approval. So we'll deal with that. I never got clarification on the first part of the letter with respect to.
Okay. So maybe you have a call with Laura coming up, right? At
Yes,
some point, so we'll cover that maybe.
sure, I can, yes.
Okay. So that was it for the mail, I think, right? So that's in process. Fifth thing on the agenda, approval of minutes from June 9th. They were distributed earlier today. I guess if you weren't at that meeting, I think everybody was at that meeting, but if you weren't, you shouldn't really vote on approving them since you weren't there. But any questions on that? Any corrections?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know it.
It
No.
looked clean.
Okay.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from.
It's June 9th.
June 9th.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments? Ed, you have any comments?
Yeah, I would like a copy of that complaint letter, since it was received. Who received the complaint letter? The
Selectmen and planning board, it was to.
Yes, I'd like a copy. Thank you. That's it.
Any other comments? No, that's it. New business. So the state has been working on the housing shortage, and there's some new ADU language that has passed. We're not sure if the governor signed it yet, but it's passed both houses. It's Bill 577. There's a copy in your packet. You need a copy of that too, Ed?
Sure.
And it's House Bill 577. There's a whole bunch of language here, but essentially it allows detached ADUs. Formerly, they had to be attached, and there were some other circumstances that they kind of relaxed in this language here. So basically, anybody can put an ADU in. It doesn't have to be attached, and you can't require additional limitations other than the normal limitations that there would be for a single-family home. So you can essentially have two homes, one of which is an ADU on the property.
And they don't have to be your relatives.
And they don't have to be relatives. Oh,
Still, I think it's a maximum of 950 square
Yes.
feet.
950, right.
Isn't there a minimum to 750 or something?
Yes.
I thought-
Yes.
Yeah.
And they didn't highlight the thing about the relatives, but I think that was a change, right?
Yeah, they didn't highlight it in there that I recall.
So I think what we have to do,
So Ed, I checked this morning to see whether the governor signed that,
yeah,
and there's no news items on whether she's going to sign that or has signed it.
okay, so we can table it for now.
I think so.
Okay.
She might veto it for no time.
Okay, so our procedure, we wouldn't want to wait until the town meeting to get a warrant to talk about that and change our zoning language. We would have to have a public hearing, right, to change the zoning language.
We could change the language, but warrants only are approved at town meeting. So the question is,
Isn't there a special,
we don't want a special town meeting.
you have to have a special town meeting? Okay, not just a public hearing.
No, special town meeting. I'll put that on my list when I talk to her.
Can the planning board basically tell code enforcement that it's okay to give permits for these based on state law?
I really don't know. I'll ask her.
Yeah.
Couldn't you do that by variance?
You could, but to require somebody to come to the zoning,
Yeah.
every time they want to build an ADU is probably not.
Well, it won't be until either the governor signs or until the next election.
Yeah.
It still has to follow the state laws for septic and the setbacks and buildable lot area. It still has to follow all that other stuff. You can't just simply just build it wherever you want to build it.
Exactly.
So that's the requirement.
And the state law would override our existing ordinance anyway, so
Yes.
even if we didn't change it, I wouldn't think they would need any special exceptions as long as it met all the rules that we have that are consistent with state,
would think so.
consistent with state law. Maybe you can ask Laura all this, but
Yeah, and this is the first, right, where they decided that this is the way to handle ADUs. So
Right.
We'll see what the lawyer says.
But yeah, I guess the question is, do we change the language, or do we just wait until March
We have to wait to March
to change the
to
language?
change the language.
Okay.
But if it's a state law, whenever it becomes effective, 90 days, 60 days, whatever, I would think it takes precedence.
Okay, so as long as code enforcement knows that, but we would probably have to write a letter to.
He knows that, he's sending us copies also.
Right, no.
What we don't know is whether the governor signs it or not.
But even if she does, or when she does, there might be other things that we could consider doing
Absolutely.
consistent with that new law,
Mhm.
instead of just whatever the new law says, right? There might be some
Yeah,
For example.
nuances in there that we could decide to recommend to the town to adopt.
For example, the 5-acre lot, my primary residence here is here, and my ADU is back in the back corner. Doesn't have to be attached any longer, doesn't even have to be close.
Right. That's, yeah,
Does it need a driveway? Does it, you know, what other considerations do you run? What
Yeah.
other considerations for detached ADUs?
Well, again, you were talking earlier about does it need septic? What kind of hookup would it need to that?
yeah, the language is not really clear on the septic.
Not really clear in a lot of it.
But the state law already exists, so you can't go past that. It has to go by what the state law requires.
Once it's
For
signed
septic.
and enacted. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
To me, yeah,
They
to
could-
me, it's just, yeah. it's
somebody could
just-
build a detached ADU without a driveway, possibly, based on the state law, but we can't go further than that and say you
I
have to have a
think
driveway.
we could require a driveway.
Yes,
Yeah, as long as you're not stopping them from building it.
Wouldn't that potentially stop them from building it though? If you need a driveway to go to it?
because it'd be another 50 grand or whatever, yeah.
well, didn't the state law say rules that apply to single-family homes still apply? So I don't know, do we require a driveway to a new single-family
I
home?
didn't check. There was some
Yeah.
discussion about that.
Okay.
I'm not sure we ever adopted that.
Huh.
All right,
Might
well,
be, it might be a fire safety code.
That's
A
right.
fire truck can't get to it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
all right, well, let's not do anything with that today. We'll talk to Laura and see what we should do, need to do.
Yep, got it.
And we'll plan on having a warrant article to actually change the language. So that leads us into warrant article prep. So that would be one. We wanted to have something on signs. I don't think we sent it on that. I just sent that one to you, right? Was it Derry or somewhere?
Yes, but in your packets, I pulled the 2022 language that was in our ordinance
Oh, you
before it
found that.
disappeared in 2023. I also pulled Effingham's, Wakefield's, and Ossaby's. Various language on the signs, signage. Some are more extensive than others.
Yep. So not a lot of language. Like the one from Derry was crazy. It was 12 pages long.
Yeah, I mean, Effingham's is simple, just everywhere it mentions a sign, it says, one small externally illuminated sign is permitted, but not larger than 6 square feet.
So we can write that language closer too, but it seems to me we should have something simple. Since we don't have commercial here, we don't really have to worry about it. And just have to make sure the home-based businesses have an appropriate sign that's not, the size of this table or whatever.
Remember, the issue came up 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Am I allowed 2? or just one,
Yeah,
so whatever we want.
right. So we can write the language and the town will decide.
The way that it was worded in our ordinance, it doesn't say there can't be two, just as long as there's not 6 square feet total.
It's true.
So I can have 2 smaller signs, or 1 big sign, is the way that I read that anyway.
I mean, you could have 15, 2
Or
by
lots
3
of,
signs.
yeah, lots of really small ones.
Yeah.
Vermicelli at the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 171.
So I guess the question is, when we attempt to add this back in, do we want to try and add more to it, or keep it simple the way that it was?
I would keep it simple, but probably we should consider limiting it to 1 sign.
I would be inclined to do that too.
One sign can be two-sided.
Yeah.
What about illumination? Because ours didn't say anything about
It
that.
didn't. So that maybe another warrant possibility would be a dark sky ordinance. So I don't know if that would tie in there. So not to jump around too much, but in your packet, there is a dark sky thing. Where did that go?
It was behind the ordinances file.
There's this thing here, very short, but it says outdoor lighting efficiency. And how many communities have this? 30?
As of 2006, yes. I don't know how many now.
Anyway, a lot of communities have adopted this New Hampshire dark sky policy. And New Hampshire should encourage municipalities to enact local ordinances to conserve energy consumed by outdoor lighting, to minimize light pollution and glare, and to preserve dark skies as a feature of rural character wherever practicable. So since our master plan mentions rural character a million times, we probably
Oh,
should
yeah.
have something like that. And, you know, the rec zone already has some different rules, but this would apply more generally, I guess, to the RA one. So we can do the sign and the, if we want to do a dark sky warrant, we can tie those in together.
Do we have examples of dark sky details on that other towns have done, or maybe you all have
I
already?
do. I have a packet that, actually, you're the one that gave me this packet, Marshall, that does have other towns' ordinances in here. Just with the number of papers we had this time, I opted not to share it, just in case we didn't go through with
Yeah,
this.
sure.
So
Okay.
if we decide to move forward with the dark sky ordinance, I will give everybody
Yeah.
copies of that.
Excellent.
We had conceptual consultation on there, we talked about that last time. Probably not a bad idea, but we can require conceptual consultation before anybody submits an application for development or subdivision or what have you. And that way, we don't run into some of the issues we had with Moose Mountain, where we didn't have enough information and we had to go back and forth a bunch of times. So we can have that as a warrant article, potentially requiring conceptual consultation before somebody applies. Any thoughts on that?
Is that, I'm sorry, is that, maybe I just missed, what's that applying to?
If somebody wants to do a subdivision, they would
Okay.
come in before they bring the application with all the maps and all that stuff.
Right.
Potentially even before they hire a surveyor.
Okay.
And we go through with them, here's the 12 things you need on the checklist, and this is exactly.
Right, it's the pre-meeting or whatever.
Right. But we can require that meeting.
Oh, okay. I
Right
got
now,
you.
it's optional,
Oh,
and it's up
okay.
to
Now,
the people to come to us,
okay,
the
I'm
developer.
with you now.
Yep.
Okay.
So if we think that's a good idea, we can add that as well.
I think that's a very good idea.
You do? Yeah. Okay. And then Salt Smart Update is under old business, but I think that should probably be a warrant article, and we should decide what language from Salt Smart's recommendations should be changed in our current solar regulations.
Hi, Joanne.
So that's what I have on warrants. If anybody has anything else? And we don't have to get this language done until January. We need to have a public hearing with the warrant language, right?
Yeah,
In January, late January.
that's right.
All right, that's that. Rules of procedure, Leah's still working on and we're going to separate all the appendices and all the forms, right?
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
And then we're also going to put in that PowerPoint kind of overview about what the different boards do and everything. Marshall's.
Oh, yes.
That'll sort of replace the appendix, I guess.
Yes.
And we'll have the separate applications available online. So that's in process. Gravel pit. I think we got those done finally.
Yes, we did.
How many gravel pits?
There you go, Coach.
Just two?
Yep. All right. So we've got, we still have the question about reclamation plans, which,
Do we still?
I believe,
Man, I thought we beat that thing to death.
I believe most of the results are not required because they're grandfathered.
until they announce that they're shutting down, then we have to get one.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't know, I know they're grandfathered because they're pre-1970. So,
Okay, so this Smith pit was fine, 4 acres active. So pass, and reclamation is kind of NA, even though our form says pass or fail.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
It's not.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I would just make this suggestion and just put, instead of NA, put the law there, or put something there, so nobody questions, why is this NA?
I didn't put it anyway.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I
so
didn't
we're
put
going to
anything.
we're redoing it, in the process of redoing that form anyway. So technically we have till the end of the year to do that. But we have all this other rules of procedure and master plan. I think this is kind of been back burner.
But Leah, you took a couple of pictures for me.
I thought you took the pictures of Smith Pit. I took some pictures
Oh,
of...
but I haven't, okay. I didn't even look, because I
The other one.
remember, yeah.
And the moose pit, you have the same form, right?
Yes, I did take some notes on it. He passes on everything. He did say he is willing to attend any of our meetings anytime we want to talk to him about his pit. He is using 3 acres currently. He has boulders up as barriers to maintain safety around the rim of the excavation area. He has a 4-phase excavation plan, and he's on phases 1 and 2 now. The excavation area is still above grade right now. He wants to get it so that it gently slopes down to meet the rec center property behind the pit. No signs of erosion, washout, dumping. Happy to show us around if we ask him.
They supposedly had some kind of reclamation plan at one point,
Yes,
which either the
that
town-
was the one that was on the back of an envelope.
Yeah, which we've lost.
We have not found the specific envelope.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the same case, they're grandfathered, so I believe that once they announce they're closing it, that's when it comes into effect. But we'll double check that with Laura.
again,
You got another thing for Laura?
again, believe me,
Maybe I should get on this call with you.
she'll yell at me at that one. How many times do I have to tell you? Don't you understand up there?
All right. So that's that. Master plan update. So in the packet here, I think it's the last thing. And it was, for some reason, we couldn't track the changes easily, but, so we're gonna just have to read through it and see if it makes sense. The executive summary did track the changes. Second page. think I might have used freedom for some of the language, but the main thing that, at least in my section, I just made it a little more consistent by saying scenic and rural. Every time it said one or the other, I just said both scenic and rural, both, not all the time. And there were several references to us being a farming community, which I don't think agriculture is the predominant activity in Brookfield at this point, so took the word farming out, at least in my section. And the idea is, I think, is going to be just to use the same format as we did, as we have. And I'm not sure if that's a legal requirement that you have to have the policies, you know, the way we have it laid out.
I don't think so. Don't other towns look different?
I think so.
Some of them?
Yeah, I think so.
The ones I've seen, they are different.
You do have to have a vision, though, and a description of your master plan. And most of them start with the same couple of pages that we have. But I do like that format. It kind of lays out, you know, what our goals are in general, specifics, and how we plan to implement it.
I've seen some communities have each section as a standalone section, as part of the master plan, so you can update a section at a time and just change the date on that. As
Yep.
opposed to we're trying to get the whole job done.
Yep.
But that's just a formatting issue.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should at least put a date with each section
That'd be
for
good.
now,
Yeah.
and then we can update them periodically as necessary. I'm not sure what this last page goes to.
I had a question for Mr. Marshall, the maps.
Yes.
How-
How does that happen?
Yeah, how do we communicate with?
So-
Go ahead.
I go there,
Yeah.
I explain, here's all, I sit with the person who's the map expert in the regional planning group there, guy, I know him. And I'd say, okay, see this map? We want that updated. We need new maps, and here's the kind of things we want to see on it. So on this map, we want to know where all the, I don't know,
New roads are.
new roads are, right? And so you would do a map and do it.
Well, we have to tell them where the new roads are, so.
Right, but in that case, the guy who did the road work for Chris, you know, he knows all the roads because he's driven them all, and then he would just get with Chris and say which ones are new, and then he'd communicate to the map guy, and
Excellent.
that's how that one would work.
The other big area that changed is state-owned property. They have, since our last master plan, they really have changed that map. Like with all this land back here.
So I would think in that case, they probably know what that is.
I don't know, that's why, yeah.
Okay.
How do we want to communicate these changes?
Well, so I would say, start with a list of, here's all the maps I want, and then sit with me and explain. And
Okay.
then we could, or we can also have the guy come, I think, and say, here, or have a meeting, whatever, and do it that way.
Okay.
So that, or we drive down to them and just sit with them and say, here's all the stuff. Either way,
Fine, we'll work.
multiple ways,
We'll get copies of the maps.
yeah.
Okay.
And maybe some maps we're asking for, they won't be able to, but hopefully we'll just say we can't do that.
We'll find out.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then as far as other stuff with the Regional Planning Commission, we don't want to run sort of afoul of anything that, you know, that they're doing or that they've suggested. So do we run this by them?
So
As well
what
as
I
the
told
public
the
hearing.
lady who runs it, the executive director, who did come here, I think, what was it, last year or 2 years ago? I don't know, whatever. So I said to her, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our first pass diligence and bring you what we think is what our master plan should be. So we'd like you to read that. We'd like you to also comment, gee, you really are missing. Here's 5 things you should think about
Yep.
that we haven't thought about.
So kind of like SolSmart did for the solar,
Yes.
basically.
So that's how I
Yeah,
would
that's-
approach it and
that's
say, okay, maps, we need help with maps. Here's all the maps we need. You know, typically, if I just asked right now, without paying any money, I could get maps for free. Well, for our $1,000
Sure.
that we,
Yeah.
right? So the sooner we get the maps, I just as soon start requesting that to get that going.
So we can go ahead with that for sure.
And because she's anxious to bill, because she said, so what, the budget, you know, I said, well, you know, until we get this completed, then we'll do it. Well, you gotta get it done before December, 31st. I was like, oh, that's good, because we want to get it done before December 31st. So, I think there'll be a sense of urgency,
Okay.
for what we're gonna get, and then it's just a question of how much is that an hour, what's the what do we negotiate, basically.
Mhm.
So,
So in a perfect world, we would have a beta version like in September?
as
If
soon
they
as
would
we
turn it around
can,
in a month or something, and then we would be able to vote on it in November, December,
yeah, I would think.
and have a public hearing somewhere in there.
Because really, even in these sections,
Question?
for example, and I'll just use Steve, because I just opened yours, Leah said it, I didn't have much time to look at it, but I just opened one to just see what somebody did, because I didn't do it yet. But I looked at it to see that, oh, okay, I have, population growth, for example. So in the document, which I wanted to give you guys, because I went to Staples and made a color copy of this stuff, so you can all have one. How many of us are there? 7? Steve, you already have one, right?
Yeah.
You need one. You need one. You need one.
Oops, this one.
You need another
You
one
got
now?
Mine's at home.
Okay, well, anyway, my only point was that I can get whatever on all of this data, we can put it in the appropriate section, or just put it as an appendix at the end of the day. But for the population section, what's interesting is, and that's the first page, by the way, community profile. So my understanding, and I'm going to say Rich, is that we have 820 residents.
In the ballpark, close.
Yeah. So if you look at, what they projected, and we were obviously in 2025, we're more than where they thought we were going to be in 2050.
Yeah.
Right? But when you really think about it, and if you look at, 2020 is the baseline for argument's sake, and whether that 755 is exactly right or not, I would have thought that the population growth would have gone through the roof because of COVID, right? And it seemed like a lot of people were moving here. But at the end of the day, 65 people over 5 years, is less than 10. It's not, even though it sounds like it's a lot, it's really not a lot, which is okay, but that's what we say, we're a small rural community, we're not necessarily interested in growth. I don't think.
There's 20 houses, right? If you get 3 people per house, it's 20
Right.
houses.
Yeah.
Over.
Which then leads me to, the whole density issue, which John or Jim?
Jim?
Which I have no knowledge of. I don't know how to do a density analysis to say that we're in good shape, bad shape, or great shape. I don't know the context of that. I'd like to understand it. I'm sure there's ways to measure it. I don't know if it's all that critical, but certainly we had that in mind when we changed to a 5-acre lot, right?
Mhm.
From a 2-acre lot.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's worth investigating or not. I think that's up to us to decide.
But Steve did an interesting analysis of how much of the total land is available for development, because there's so much is in state-owned.
So how much was that? Is that what said with what you wrote in your land use piece?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I was looking at that, because that prompted me to say, what kind of overall data do we really that we don't have, that we need to have or should have, right?
And it's taking a look to see land that is not developed
Correct.
and, how much is out there,
Right,
because now we're bumped it up to 5-acre lots.
right,
And a lot of the properties that are out there are in, as a current use.
right.
So that's when I had and stopped any development into there.
Right.
So I'd want to take a look at the properties that have current use stapled onto there, and are they true to form? If they are, that's fine. But if they're not, let's put them back onto the tax records.
Right. So, I don't know where we go with all that, but. at the end
We
of
can
the
also
day-
take a look, if you're looking at maps, how many properties without dwellings are over 10 acres.
Right,
And there won't be that many, other than what the state and other tree huggers have, the state in,
right.
because we identified, I think it's 3 others.
Hmm.
And I think you're working on another one, Rich. I found another piece of property that doesn't state.
We'll check.
Yeah.
We'll check it out. You might want to talk to Rod Wood, the assessor, on current use, because they're always trying to verify what's in current use.
Mhm.
And the property owner has to provide a map showing what's in current use. There's no remedy if you don't do it. So there's no way to force people to do that. So I have current use, but I forgot to submit the map from 20 years ago. I don't have to give you a new map.
I should talk to who, Ron?
The assessor, Rod Wood, comes
Oh,
in
yeah.
Friday, once a month on Friday, about current use issues.
He's gonna be here this Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, but the state's going to be here too. So Bob told me not to come in. He said, go away.
I'm sure he said it meaner than that.
He did.
So when you, I guess my question where I started was, so you did did you envision that to be in front of what's in there already for land use?
Yes, stating this is what.
It's
we've
kind of like a
got,
summary,
And then
right?
this is what we're looking for.
Right, so in the actual land use that was written, you didn't have any issues with what was there, I guess.
No, there was just some.
Which is fine, by the way.
Changes. We got to change, it's not 2 to 5, it's 5.
Okay, so other than a few
Or above,
grammatical
yeah.
things. Got it, okay.
Most of it's in there, and they keep coming up with that they want to maintain the rural atmosphere. And, that's fine. We also have to be cognizant of, if you're going to maintain that, then watch out for your taxes.
Right.
I know in the plan it says no commercial, enterprises. Yet, that may be something that, we could look at, but I don't think we have any properties that are available.
Well, I guess the question would be, do we want to expand
Mhm.
and have some commercial opportunity to
Yeah.
obviously raise taxes? So that,
Other than a gravel pit.
right.
So, Rich, right now, I think the only potential for commercial would be down the end of Old Governors, right? Where it backs up into the industrial park there.
That's an opportunity. Today is residential, but
So we'd have to carve out a commercial zone there.
if you want the internet, you want to be close to Route 16,
Right.
you don't want it back there someplace. You want, to my thinking,
Yeah.
you want it down here someplace.
Mhm. And it's right there on the Wakefield line, so we don't have too much of an opportunity.
And they have their commercial area right there.
Yeah.
So it might be able to maybe dovetail.
Mhm.
Is this because they've requested, or they have an interest, express an interest in turning that commercial?
Oh, no, we have not.
No.
We have not raised that.
They haven't brought it yet.
That's right. I think I don't know what it does to the value of property. I don't know whether it's to their advantage or just, I have no idea. But the neighbors, I'm sure the neighborhood, right, what's the neighborhood going to say? If you come in the back way through Wakefield,
Right.
so you don't impact 109, it's almost like you don't know what's there. It's in the back.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
As long as it's not too noisy or whatever.
Or we can control what goes in.
But that seems like the only logical,
Yeah.
well, maybe the first logical place to add commercial, at least.
Mhm.
And obviously, you know, the survey, and we hear about taxes all the time, so I don't know how much that would go to defray everybody's taxes, but probably not much.
Yeah, how do we,
That's a start.
is there a standard way the town would receive monies from a commercial activity?
Just through taxes. Tax it differently, different rate.
Yeah.
May not be significant, is the point.
I guess the question is, who wants to do the math on that one? Anybody want to volunteer to do the math on that one?
What math? I don't understand.
The math is, what commercial property are we talking about? How big is that space? What could it be? What kind of business could we go after to get people to fill that space, right? What would we do with it? And do the math to say, well, how much tax dollars would we get and how much, you know what I mean?
Let me do this.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the assessor who does multiple towns. Find out how assessing commercial property works in other towns
Right.
and get some ballpark numbers.
There
An
you go.
acre is worth whatever, and you might be able to get,
X and, right.
get some ballpark numbers.
And what the business is doesn't matter, I don't think.
I don't know how.
You know, down there,
I
presumably-
wouldn't think so, because you're taxing the
Yeah.
property, not the.
Not the
actually-
business.
Not the business itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think like the dock guy and Fred Meyer would be paying the same rate,
Yeah.
but based on their size.
So the White Mountain Medical Building
Yeah,
is on the tax rolls for $2 million.
That's in Wakefield though, right?
Yep.
That's just a number. But
That's
that's
an
so-
example.
That's right. So
Right.
a nice structure like that, that's a very clean industry, right? Office space for medical, was worth $2 million. They can't sell it, but it's worth $2 million.
Well, that's the other thing, if we go down this road and we need to attract a business, well, two things. Who owns the land to begin with, or rezoning? And if they don't want to have a business, then what good does that do?
Yeah.
If they do, what kind of business are we trying to attract? If there's a $2 million tax bill, attached with it, is it going to be attractive? So what kind of industries are going to be attracted to that?
That's exactly right. This building is on Route 16, high visibility, good access, and we're talking back in the woods. So it might have a bearing on the value of it.
and then there's just the issue, like if it's 2 million, and let's say the commercial rate is double the residential rate, you're talking about 44,000 revenue.
Right.
Not a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
really, in the scheme of things, with $1 million for your
Right.
budget or whatever we're talking.
With an investment.
Yeah.
Seems like an awful lot of steps to go, we'd have to go down to try to make that happen, or help
Mhm.
encourage that to happen. If people even want it to happen
That's right.
in the
Yeah.
town.
And
That's right. Because when you start to quantify the impact, it may not be worth it, right? Our total property value is about 230 million of all the property.
So do you guys have some more specific in mind, or are you just ballparking in general?
ballparking in general.
Okay, thank you.
We have no knowledge and no data.
Dangerous.
And
Great way.
Just making sure.
if you look at the 2006 survey, they indicated no commercial.
Right.
That's the other thing, like if there was a desire for
Yeah.
whatever type of commercial activity that the town, a lot of people in the town wanted, then there's a different reason to try to encourage it, which is to, satisfy the residents as opposed to raising a lot of tax dollars. But unless they hear that, I don't know.
Yeah. But we've got to put all the possibilities on the table, and then we can discard what aren't reasonable.
So support commercial growth,
Right.
we had 29% agree or strongly agree. 37% disagree, 22% strongly disagree.
And that's just a very general,
Support commercial growth.
yeah,
Mhm.
we didn't get any more specific than that.
Yeah.
And so the 2018 master plan survey results are
Yeah.
in your file
Your
somewhere.
packet.
I don't know, you saw it.
All right, well, we don't have to deal with that right now.
Nope.
Food for thought. So as far as the master plan, we'll wait to get a couple more sections.
Well, I'm gonna.
And we're working on it all day today, you said.
I was. And that's why I presented those fun facts about it. Oh, I didn't. Here's the best fun fact, you ready? The median age in Brookfield, 54.
Okay.
Okay?
Young.
Right. The median age in New Hampshire, 43. In the state of New Hampshire. The median age
Good
in
town.
the USA
Yeah, it's the roll.
is 37.8,
The roller.
So we're old.
right? And in Wolfboro, the average median age, 64.8.
Really?
Wow. Is
Huh.
crazy. You walk around Main Street, go to breakfast on Main Street. Do your own survey.
So on the natural resources section, Frank Frazier's working on it.
Okay.
So I didn't make any changes, I just read it and I just had questions like, did we ever, there's a lot of recommendations in there. And my only question is, were any of those ever done? And if not, do we still want them in there? But I thought I'd wait for Frank
Yep.
before going through it in detail.
Yeah, I think those are just, the implementation, you know, they're just suggestions more than
Yeah.
things like we have to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I would
Agreed.
like to change and just say, so what do we want to do in the next 5 years? You know, because it's just Windows recipe.
Well, wasn't there something at the end with
Yeah.
a chart with dates and things like that?
Yeah.
And do we want to repeat that or do we want to get rid of that? I think we'll have to address that.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to try to put it all together and
Yep.
format it somehow so it sort of looks like it did?
Something like that.
Let me know if you need help.
Oh, and also on the, in the master plan, there's data about every town in Carroll County, in the population. In my section of population. and
Oh,
growth.
in your section, yeah.
Yeah.
Not this.
And so I can get it updated, because that was done in 2006. I can get an update from the SRPC on that. So that's like 4.2 or whatever.
What section is that?
In population and growth, my section.
Population.
Yeah, population. Right after the verbiage, then there's a chart that shows all the towns in Carroll County and their population expectation. Here somewhere.
While you're looking for that, I'll just throw it there. I talked to Brad Williamson, our emergency manager, about the natural hazards section, and he wants to make no changes, so that's easy.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, here's the one you're talking about.
That's it right there.
There you go. This is what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know that, yeah.
So I can get that updated. So.
When was this from? This one?
2006.
Yeah, so they had us at 900 people.
Yes, by
2020.
2020, right. And we're at 820, so. And who's to say that's right or wrong?
Well, we just did a census in
24, I think, or 30.
we did 20 even on the decade, right? We did a
Yes.
census in 2020. That number should be good.
Yeah.
So this rolls over, presumably because there's more deaths than people arriving, right?
Right, right.
Births, I guess, migration. Okay.
So anyway, that's that.
Well, life expectancy in town is 83, that's pretty good.
Working on it.
I hope I make it.
Yeah, so just, when you, as you get your sections done, just send them into Leah and
So should we, so I
put it
guess,
together.
so if we do all of that, right, and Leah does, takes what everybody's input in, then it's just a question of, and we all bless it, right?
Yeah, I think we
Direction.
all read it
And
and
all read
make
it.
edits as necessary and
So if
discuss it.
that's, so if she does that, where are we, July, right? So by the end of August, should we have something to go to the SRPC with?
That would be nice.
Is that reasonable and doable?
In that case, would we skip adding the maps until you take it to them?
Oh, no, as in every section, if you want maps, you should just handwrite a note and say,
Update map.
update this map, or I need a new map, I need these 5 new maps in my section, or 3 new, whatever.
But there's no need to wait? Is that what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, there's no need
Because-
to wait on the maps.
Okay. So we could do that and tell you now.
Right now, or,
Soon.
at least in the August meeting, everybody should say, here's the maps I need,
Okay.
as a starting point. How about that? Because I think if we keep going, we just won't get it done. Right?
You think August is possible
Yeah.
for a final copy?
Yeah.
It's really just
I don't
formatting,
know,
right?
final,
You're not being
yeah.
creative necessarily. You're just-
Right.
Is the only one you're waiting on for me is natural resources, which is really Frank?
I think so.
I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball.
There's a list she reprinted in one meeting
Yes.
somewhere. Mine.
Because I think Rich ended up taking over one I thought I had to do. And Frank's doing the other, so I don't really have to do anything.
Rich, did you roll road maintenance into the transportation?
Infrastructure was rolled into.
Here we go. Here's the list right here.
Transportation.
And maybe on the next page. too.
Natural resources,
Yeah, that's the better one.
transportation.
Next page? No.
Uh-oh. Community characteristics and appearance, Lofgren and Zacher.
Another one, huh?
Another one that you can do for me. What is that one? Community characteristics and appearance. I didn't, it wasn't on my radar. Was it on yours? Okay. I can look at it. 210,
And
okay.
I took over the 2 that Gus was working on.
Okay.
Do you want me to look through the list and I'll email everybody what we're missing?
Yeah,
Sure.
that would be great.
That'd
Thank
be
you.
great. All right, we're good with that?
So on the survey, Ed, we talked about it last time. So I think we said we're gonna do one,
Mhm.
but then what did we not decide on?
We said we were gonna table it until the beginning of next year, once we're done with the master plan and the ROP. But that doesn't mean we can't start
But that you
compiling
can't,
questions and
but we
whatever.
can't do that, right?
What?
I don't think we have time to do the
Can't.
survey and get the master plan in motion.
Because why would you write a master plan and have a town meeting and ask for a survey after we did it?
Because we talked about how this isn't a super comprehensive update, and we were maybe gonna make it more comprehensive moving forward.
If we're gonna have most of this stuff penciled in by August, we still have September and October that we could go ahead, take a look at the survey and see if we can pump it out.
And if not, then if
Yeah.
not, we can.
Well,
Right.
it's not, I mean, again, then I guess we got into that discussion about what is it gonna cost, because we gotta get it to everybody, and what's the methodology to deliver it,
How
right?
did we do that last time? Mail?
Ed knows.
You're looking at
'cause
the
he
wrong
did it.
person.
He did all the work.
He was on that board.
Mr. Chairman, I'd love to speak.
You'd like to take charge of the survey?
Well, why don't you just, the whole idea is to revise and update.
Right.
You don't have to you're trying to take on, this has happened to us, you're taking on this huge item. Just pick one of the items, complete it, update it, and that actually means you revised it. You don't have to do the entire thing in one lump.
But we do have to have public input for each one, so we would have 12 sections of public input, which doesn't make
But
sense.
you already have an existing survey. I don't see why that would not be the public. I doubt the public has changed what their opinion was. I just don't know why you're making this a heck of a lot more complicated than I think it has.
Well, it's a 2018 survey, so it is quite outdated. And now that we got the endings in, we need to, see if more people will participate and give us a better feeling.
It was so difficult to get anybody to participate in that survey. And I just don't see why the survey would be that different from 2018. I just don't, but that's just.
It's,
I would just pick one thing and do one, if you just did one section every year, you'd have it done.
what, in the master plan?
Yeah. Revision does not mean you have to rewrite the whole thing.
No.
Revision, update.
That's why we're looking at the end of August, that most of our sections that we've been looking at will be updated at that point. We can see where we are and go from there.
Yeah. And if we don't have one or two, that's fine.
Yeah, I think too, I hear your point. I think another thing is that a lot of these relate to each other in some way. So if we did one and it changed a lot, for example, I think that would bleed into others. I don't think we're going to make any big changes on any, but
No,
if we go for like public input, which we have to do, I guess until we see it, we don't know for sure if there'll be big changes from the last survey. I wonder if we could use the last survey, and maybe this is what people thought, just send it out again in the very near term. Is that all you did, was that one survey?
Correct, but it took a lot of work to get that out and get people to sign.
Well, you had to write it, right?
It took months, once we got it out, to get the data back and to compile it.
And we had to go,
Remember,
we had to go out and we had to, did you fill it out? Did you fill it out?
So you
People don't want to fill anything out.
Did you do any online portion, like through SurveyMonkey or whatever survey thing?
I thought we did. I thought we had an online survey.
SurveyMonkey, you're
Survey,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
but we weren't getting responses.
We only got 114 responses anyway. How many did we send out? Like
Yeah.
300, 400?
Now, when it says you have to have public input, what does that actually mean? Does that mean you have a
I think
meeting?
it states that you
Or
have.
does it have to be a posted public hearing? If you're talking about public input, what we did is we put it on the agenda and people were supposed to show up and talk about what they wanted during the master plan agenda item.
I think that's fair.
If nobody shows up,
Yeah.
you're still using the 2018 information, who's going to go after you for that? I don't.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we need to give people, well, all it says with what I'm reading is solicit public comments
Yeah.
regarding the future growth of a municipality.
You've had master plan on this agenda almost every single.
And nobody's come.
And we could do something to solicit without, well, maybe less of a process than you all had to go through.
Yeah.
But still solicit it, and then if people respond, they respond. If they don't, well, at least we solicited it.
I think that's what they tried to do last year. We're going to talk about this section of the master plan. If you have input, come.
I see.
No one comes.
Nobody
Yeah,
comes.
yeah.
So I think once the master plan is complete, you have to have a public hearing to just review it and take any additional input for the board's consideration.
Where does it say that? It says you have to have a public hearing at the end. I didn't remember.
I thought that's what it said.
I'd look into that because I don't think it says that.
What do you think it says?
Public input.
I
Like
think
you
it's-
said.
There may be something else, I'm not, a
Public
different
in-
section,
public input.
but
Some
this is
towns
just
use-
solicit public input.
Yeah, that's right, as you're
Public comments.
developing, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to have a public hearing, and it's supposed to be completed by the planning board. So if, you got public comments on it, you compile it, and you're voting to accept it. It doesn't go to town meeting.
And you can take the input
Yeah.
or not, right?
That's right.
I mean, honestly, if you update it and it goes out to the public, and they don't like it, they would come in here and tell you to change it. You have the ability to do that.
Yep.
Just update it so nobody says anymore, why aren't you updating your master plan? You say, we did update it.
I would think we'd like to say, we're gonna issue an update to the master plan. Here it is. Do you have any comments? To give it-
And
give
we're going
the
to
town-
discuss it at the October meeting or whatever meeting.
Yes, give the town one more opportunity to say,
Right.
this is the package.
Yeah.
I mean, this time you got other committees involved. We didn't do that. We tried to do the whole thing ourselves. But I believe you're going to some of the other committees, Heritage and
Yeah.
Conservation and stuff. So that's part of the public input. You're getting those boards, and those boards have people that are supposed to come to their meetings. I don't see how anybody would challenge that you didn't get public input.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, let's shoot for August then.
Mhm.
We'll go with what we have at that point and discuss it in September, I guess, once we have that month from August to September amongst ourselves to come up with any changes, finalize them in September, and then,
Put it out there, yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of sending it out before we actually approve it and asking for comments. I doubt we'll get many, but if we can build that into that timeline somehow.
And this is still a draft if you
Yeah,
want to add
and we're gonna talk
something.
about it this meeting, like you said.
I don't know if we have to send it out. I think we just send it to the email list of people that have signed up because
Right.
they're interested in what goes on in the town and just post it online, say,
So how many people is that?
We don't know.
It's
Well, we
on my
must if
to-do
we're
list to
sending
find out
emails.
how many e-subscribers
If they
we
said
have.
we want emails, don't we know how
They don't tell us much as far as
The
analytics.
new system,
many?
there's the new system.
Oh, it's the
They have
old
that
system.
feature in it.
okay.
All right,
That,
that's clear. That's good.
So I think we're good there. Member comments, we've got the representative and hopefully Councilor Kenny coming next meeting. Any other member comments?
Do we have any idea how we're gonna handle this, these representatives? Are we gonna
That's my question.
give them questions? Are they just gonna come in and tell us life is
Great.
good and whatever? I mean, what does this look like?
What's the purpose of them coming in?
Well, originally it was to try to get a better handle on this ADU thing, which looks like it's passed. But I think just more broadly, there's also initiatives in Concord to shrink zoning, depending on septics and whatnot, whether you're on the city or not, which we're not, obviously. So we just went from 2 to 5. You know, do they have an opinion on that, or where's that going in Concord, for example? And on the ADU thing, maybe we can just ask how they think we should deal with it.
Well, there's some other ones too, that like, they want, I don't know if it passed or not, but they want to make it so any zoning can have residential in it. And they want to change it to have social districts that people can just drink out in public in, and things like that. So when I invited them initially, I left it kind of vague and just said, we'd like to discuss the land use changes this legislative session.
I think that's fine, and let them talk, and you'll have questions.
Yeah,
So I assume we're gonna invite the public.
yes.
Yeah, it's at our regular meeting.
Almost like do it next door if we get a good turnout. I mean, I expect the people to come.
Yeah, so maybe on the email list that we have,
Okay.
mention that these guys are coming. Good
What
chance to
about
meet your
legalizing marijuana? Is that on the list yet?
No,
Live free or die, and we can't?
it's been shot down several times this session,
Well, ask them.
and last
Yes,
session, and the session before.
It always passes the House, it just gets crushed in the Senate, and then usually Governor Sununu would never sign it. It may be different, and so
You can't tell with legislation, right? It can stop, be killed. And I don't know how many times we've had false starts of legislation, and until the governor signs it,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't, that's right.
I spoke to the
There's a
sponsor.
lot of,
I spoke to the sponsor of the ADU bill, and she didn't sign anything yet.
pardon me?
The governor did not sign the
Did you
ADU
check it?
bill.
Did you check? Because I know,
I just texted
thank you.
the sponsor of the bill.
I checked this morning, I couldn't find out whether she signed it or not. And I think that's a bad sign that she didn't sign it. It's easy to sign it.
No, it's just not at that spot yet, meaning it's not in the process where she has those things come across her desk.
Right,
Okay.
and she's been a proponent of housing,
What-
curing the housing problem.
The reason why she's probably gonna, I think she'll pass it, is because the big push for housing, there's also the workforce housing. this connects with workforce housing. If you have the ability to have ADUs, and we talked about this in the past, that goes towards your total for your ADU, your workforce housing.
If you want to have development, and that's what they want, turn off current use. Turn off current use in the state, and then you'll get development, because people won't be able to hold their land, they'll have to sell it, and you get it developed. Right now, there's no incentive to develop your property, it's in current use, no taxes on it. Why do I want to sell or develop? That's a hot potato.
Well, that's your.
That's the
that's your
solution
opinion. That's your opinion.
to housing?
Yeah, maybe, you still
Yeah.
have,
No, I mean, that's the state's
Yeah.
opinion to housing,
yeah.
to address the housing issue.
I'm not in the minds of those people.
Is that what?
Well,
is
there's
that what-
zoning, they want to shrink 1 acre to half acre and 2 acre to 1 acre.
Oh, I didn't know about that part. Okay.
Yeah, but you still need somebody who wants to sell their property and develop it.
Right.
There's no advantage to doing it. I don't care what the zoning says.
Right.
Take it out of current use.
Mhm. That's why I want to take a look at current use, see how much stuff we've got out there.
Hit the third rail, right?
Yep.
Hit the third rail, because there's so much property and big properties in current use.
Well, can you just take it out of current use and immediately sell it? Once you find a buyer, you say, okay, then I'm taking it out of current use
You can't, you
and
cannot.
sell it, and then they're on the hook?
You have to have a physical change to the property, so if you subdivide it, say I subdivided off a 5 acre lot, then you'd have to pay a 10% penalty of fair market value to the town.
I see.
But the prices of real estate now, it's, you know, for a 5 acre lot, they're getting $150,000, $200,000 in places for a 5 acre lot.
You can't arbitrarily take it out. You have to do something, either
Right.
build
You have to-
on it or
You
subdivide
have
it.
physical change.
Like, I can't say I want to take my current use land out of current use. You can't, no, you got to do something.
Really?
But you just have to pay the penalty, there's no
You have
back
to pay-
taxes or anything you have to pay.
What's that?
There's no back taxes or anything you have to.
You have to pay 10% of fair market value. So if you have 100 acres and the fair market value is $1 million, you got to pay $100,000
Yeah.
to take it out of current.
And that's a
use.
state rule, the 10%.
State
Yes,
law.
yes.
Okay. All right, anything else? Ed?
In regards to the, I believe you're talking about Senator McConkey.
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, I think you should have it here, and I don't think you're gonna get a huge crowd. And the back and forth with him is very good. I don't know if you're familiar with him and know him. He's very personable back and forth. So he would do good in a larger venue also, but I don't think we really need that.
Well, we also want to hear what they're being said at the water cooler. You know, what are people talking about in the halls? So maybe we can get a little bit of an idea before we step in.
Can we move over there, game time decision?
Sure.
If necessary? Yeah. All right, that's all I have. Anything else, anybody?
So it's two guys that are coming, right?
We think, yeah.
Or one guy said,
One confirmed.
let me know the date closer, like, so that my calendar can be filled and not come, was how I read that.
Pretty much.
That was it.
We made you
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
I'm gonna email.
Which one was that? Who said that?
That was Kenny, Executive Counselor Kenny.
Okay.
Do you want me to call the sponsor and see if he's willing to come here? He would know. He wrote the bill.
Yes.
Did Mark McConkey co-sponsor?
He's the
that?
only confirmed one. I don't know if he can, I'm not sure.
Well, I can call him if he shows, that would be good. You should also have Lino Avalani and Michael Belcher too, as your state reps.
And McConkey's the only one confirmed so far.
Yeah, he didn't co-sponsor this.
Well, that won't be a problem. Yeah, he's local. You had breakfast this morning?
Was he there?
Yeah. He was cooking, wasn't he?
Ulino?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't cooking. You stayed on the back.
He hasn't answered my emails.
No. All right, next meeting, August 11th, 6 PM. And it is
7:09.
7:09. Close out the meeting. Thank you.
Whatever happened with your meeting down in, with the rec department? They were being sued or whatever?
Oh, we haven't heard yet.
You haven't heard yet?
No. We expect to hear it anytime. No. I think they said, what did they say, Rich, 2-3 weeks after that hearing?
They asked Leah for some additional information, right?
Wait for what?
The site plan they wanted.
The court
The
case.
court case.
Oh, yes, she needed some more information.
And you sent that to her,
I did,
so she sent that to the court,
yeah.
so anytime now.
That's what I recall him saying a few weeks, but I can't remember.
But he wanted some.
Yeah, he needed some papers. Yep.
That was what we discussed.
I want to,
All look at the maps, I want to pull the maps out, we're not gonna wait for all this.
7:10.
They're big, they're in the drawers, pull them out, we'll show you which one we need updated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you your map, you take it with you.
Warm in here, huh?
Yeah.
That part's easier, I get that.
Not yet?
Until August.